Hey, it's Leslie, and this week I'm going to talk about the importance of having a positive support system in your life when it comes to trying to achieve any goal, whether it's weight loss or just achieving your dreams or whatever. It's just really important to have people who are there to support you and encourage you along the way. I've found through my own experience, as well as hearing about the experience of others, that often people react to you trying to achieve your dreams or any goal in two different ways. Either they're supportive or they tend to sabotage you. I don't think that's necessarily on purpose or even conscious, but sometimes people tend to make it harder for you, even if they're people who you think would support you normally and they're important people in your life. Sometimes they do things that just make it even harder for you. But I'm going to talk about that more next week. I'm going to discuss challenges and the challenges of having people who tend to sabotage you and how to deal with that and just kind of try to figure out the reasons, because there's a lot of reasons, I think, of why they're doing it, especially when they don't know why they're doing it, because it's not that they don't want you to be successful, but it's just there's a lot of underlying facts. So for this week, I just want to talk about those who are there for you and supportive and encouraging, and how valuable that is when you're trying to achieve a goal. Online is a great place to find a support system, but unfortunately, since we can't be at our computer all day, it's important to find a support system elsewhere, whether it's with family, friends, coworkers, significant others, because that's where you're going to be spending the rest of your time, and you can't just rely on one place to get your support from. I found that my strongest support system was with coworkers and with my boyfriend. With coworkers, I'm at work most of the time, so it's important to have people there to turn to when I'm just having a bad day, or if there's a potluck, or if there's just things going on where temptation is high, or if you're in a bad mood and if you're an emotional eater. So that was really important to me. And I found people who really, they've been through it already, whether you could tell. Most of the time I found the people who are the greatest support system were not overweight. They're people who take care of themselves, and you wouldn't ever know that they'd been overweight in the past. But from getting to know them, you find out that they look the way they look because they've worked really hard to achieve it, and because they had insecurities in the past, which is what has driven them to get to where they are. And I was very surprised to find these things out, but it's really good to have someone who has been there and to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel and that they look awesome now and they take care of themselves, and it's really inspirational. And the great thing is that they're there when you need to talk to someone because they still know how it is. It's still hard and they're still working at it because they still have cravings. They still don't necessarily want to get up and go to the gym every day, but they're an example that when you work hard, it does pay off. The other important support system in my life has been my boyfriend. Now, first, I think it's important to explain that he's not someone that needs to worry about his weight or worry about what he eats. He's all of about 5'6", 5'7", and weighs 130 pounds. So he's a slender guy. It's not that he has to watch what he eats or be careful, but the truth is he's actually really conscious about it, and he gave up fast food about 4 or 5 years before I even did, because he just doesn't want to be putting things like that in his body. And he said himself, it's not that he doesn't like them, he just wants to be more conscious about what he eats. Don't get me wrong, he can eat a lot. He can easily out-eat my Italian family at Christmas, Easter gatherings, whatnot, and they joke that he has a hollow leg because they can never figure out where the food is going. But it's important. It has been important for me to have him around, because when I started changing the things I would eat, like for dinners, sometimes it would be just one piece of a smallish piece of salmon and some green beans. And for him, he could eat a lot more than that, but to support me, he's happy with that and he's satisfied with that, and he doesn't complain about it. And that's been really huge, because I can't imagine what it would be like if he was bringing around junk food all the time or complaining about it. But really, it's been a great thing for me to have him there to happily eat the healthy things that I'm eating and encourage me and support me. I think I'd mentioned in one of the videos before that one day when everyone was going to be eating pizza at work, and even my support system, they were all going to enjoy it that day, and I really just felt alone and like the only person, and it was so hard. So I can't remember if I texted or called him, but he gave me just some words of encouragement, and that was all I needed, is just to know that someone's got my back and someone's encouraging me and supporting me. So that's just been something that's huge, and I'm just really, really blessed to have that. So I've been lucky and just kind of had these people in my life. But if you're wondering, okay, well, how do I find this support system? You know, everyone around me is always eating junk food and eating fast food, and, you know, if you just don't even know where to start, I would start with online, you know, just to get some resources and know that there's people out there. But I do think it's very important to find people in your life outside of the online community that can be there for you. So I would say at work, try to keep your eyes open and pay attention to maybe the people who are going to the gym at lunchtime or who are eating mostly fruits and vegetables and just making healthy choices. Because if you don't necessarily know at first, you're not going to kind of send an email and be like, hey, who wants to be part of my support system? But if you just kind of pay attention and, you know, maybe then ask them some questions. I found, though, as I lost weight, people would more approach me, and that's kind of how I got to know people and built my support system, because I think they came to me as they saw that I was working at it. So that's another thing. As you lose weight and as you continue to work on it, you might be surprised the people that are going to approach you and will end up ultimately being there for you. I also think it's important to try to really explain and talk to your friends and family, the people who are important to you, and help them to understand that this is a big deal for you. It's something you really want to work at. And just, if they understand how important it is to you, hopefully they'll be willing to support you and encourage you. Because sometimes we don't even know that we're not helping someone because we don't realize how important it is to them. So just, if you're, you know, having some one-on-one time with a friend or a family member, maybe explain to them, you know, what you're trying to do in your life, how you're trying to make changes, and hopefully from there they'll start to realize, you know, well, maybe me bringing them a plate of cookies isn't really helping them any, and just things like that. So being honest, open and honest with your friends and family, I think that's the best way to encourage them to support you. And basically it's kind of like asking for help in fewer words, I guess. So that's all I really had to say about support systems this week. If there's anything I missed or any questions, just ask below. And I honestly believe that that's been a huge part of my success, having people there for me to confide in, to talk to encourage me. So I would highly, highly recommend, if you're trying to lose weight or trying to achieve any other goal in your life, find people that will support you. Surround yourself by positive people who are encouraging, supportive, and believe in you. Because if you're surrounded by just downers who are going to complain and be like, oh, you can't do that, and discourage you, that's not going to help you any. So if you can, surround yourself with the people who will be there for you, or the people you want around you. I found 2 health-related articles this week. The first one is, what does a 1,500 calorie day look like? And it's filled with basically recipes or food options for the day. It just goes through what you could eat in one day. And I found it was good tips, and it also has the recipes. It doesn't have all of them, which I found weird, because there's one for a black bean soup at lunch, and it doesn't give that recipe anywhere that I could find. But I think it's really interesting to see, you know, what good tips would be for a full day. So check that out if you want. I will put the link below. The second article is called One Bite, 90 Calories. It goes through several different restaurants like Starbucks or McDonald's, and it gives you an option of probably your best choice and your worst choice. I just find it really interesting because some things I think you'd be surprised with. So I will put that link below as well. And for this week's lovely lyrics, I chose Because You Love Me by Celine Dion, because it really talks about how appreciated it is and how important it is to have someone and just to thank them. So I thought that was a great song for this week, and it's one I really like, so enjoy. I guess that's it for now. Next week we'll talk about the opposite of a support system, basically those who sabotage you. So have a great week. I'm going back to kickboxing this week, and I'm super pumped, and I will see you next week. God bless.